Bridget's Ngana in Nakuru County, and she tells us that Naivasha, Gilgil, Molo, and Kibos are the next pit stops of the ongoing railway rehabilitation efforts, and that the government insists that no one will be compensated for encroaching on public land. Bridget, I hear that that has been protested.
Well, Olive, there seems to be a technical hitch as far as the audio is concerned, but just as you've mentioned, is that earlier on this morning I was able to speak with the Regional Commissioner, George Natembeya, who's supervising the works that have been going on at the railway grounds, and it is a scenic view from where I'm standing at. It's just right behind me. The stretch that was behind me, further afield, were buildings, but they came down on Sunday, and this is just the first for Nakuru County. Actually, by tomorrow, there will be more demolitions in the sub-counties of Naivasha, Gilgil, Molo, and these are slated on railway grounds. People have encroached on these grounds. They've put up permanent buildings, and they do expect that these buildings will come down anytime soon. So the government is not sympathizing with anyone. For those who have laid legal claim on their grounds and saying that they have title deeds or proof of ownership, the government is telling them to shelve them for now, because the initiative is to ensure that the Naivasha or Naivasha-Kisumu route or Naivasha-Malaba route for the railway is ongoing seamlessly. Already, they've said here in Nakuru County, they've recovered 40 acres of land that had been encroached. The operations here are 90% on course. It is a multi-agency effort involving the military, involving the National Youth Service, the security forces. The regional national government is also following up on that. And I had an exclusive interview with George Natembeya this morning, and he said he doesn't have maybe time for those who might come up and say they would want to be compensated. The government has no time for that. For now, they are interested in reclaiming railway land, and this is something that, according to the national government, will revive the economies of these areas that had died since the death of the Kenya Railway Corporation, but now it's under revival. And they say that once the goods come from Mombasa to the inland container depot at Naivasha in Mai Mahiu, and that is where the SGR ends, it will now commence the journey from Nakuru towards the western region into the neighboring countries. The logic behind this, the national government is giving, is that it will end road carnage that has been propagated by heavy, long-distance vehicles, the trailers, and those that have been usually using road travel to transport goods from Mombasa in towards the other landlocked countries in East Africa via this route, Nakuru route. So we are preparing ourselves to see major distractions from for structures that had been constructed along railway reserves, and this is something that the government is very intent on making sure that it makes good on its promise to bring down these structures. But the other side, Olive, is that the psychological effect that this is having on these people. They had set up businesses. Some of them say they have leases, that they had entered into agreements with the Kenya Railway. But when we spoke with the management of the Kenya Railway, especially this Rift Valley region, they say that there's a clause that gives the government 90 days to reclaim this land. So they are legally within the bounds of the lease, that within 90 days they're supposed to surrender this land. So nobody should be obligated to take the government to court or even seek any compensation for that matter.